Hello kids, we back again!
We're back again!
And I got 2 melons.
Yes, she has. You have, haven't you? What flavour's that one, Amber?
Raspberry.
Beautiful, my favourite.
And strawberry.
Strawberry, my favourite. 2. Love it.
I'll show you my melon, alright?
Yeah, right. We'll show you a malwam and then and then we're going to show you the book we're going to read. Look, there it is. Somebody's been so good today.
Yeah, and I'll be the fairy.
And a fairy. Haven't you, darling?
Yeah, can you whisper about this?
This is Tyrannosaurus Drip. That's not a bad effort for you. It's called can you say this? Tyrannosaurus Drip. Drip.
I don't know.
Yeah, this is another story by Julia Donaldson, David Roberts.
We're not reading that forward. That different book, are we?
No, we're reading this and we've got 15 minutes to do it. In a swamp beside a river, where the land was thick with veg, lived a herd of duck-billed dinosaurs who roamed the water's edge. And they hooted up with rivers, and they hooted up with reeds, and they hooted up with bellyfuls of juicy water weeds. Look at that.
Not that. Big dinosaurs.
Yeah, big dinosaurs.
And a small one.
And a small one.
You're just taking over my choice.
Oh, sorry.
Don't flick that on my eye.
I'm not going to. Now.
That's the orange one, pink one.
Across the rushy river, on a hill the other side, lived a mean Tyrannosaurus with his grim
Daddy.
and grisly bride.
Daddy,
Mm.
look at that funny face.
Well, look at his eyes.
Let's go.
Can you do this? Look. That's it. Look at his eyes.
Shut look.
That's perfect. And they shouted up with hunting, and they shouted up with war, and they shouted up with bellyfuls of duck-billed dinosaur. But the 2 Tyrannosauruses, so grisly, mean and grim, they couldn't catch the duck-billed dinosaurs because they couldn't swim.
He's doing that eye.
Oh yeah, he's like this.
Can you do it,
Can
kids?
you do it?
You just dance with my back.
And they muttered,
Oh yeah.
down with
look.
water,
Spot.
and they muttered, down with wet,
Spot.
and they muttered,
Daddy.
what a shame that bridges aren't invented yet.
Daddy. Spot.
Oh yeah.
Ow.
Oh, does it hurt?
Yeah.
Oh, she's been stung
By
by a nettle.
no, when I go that fairy, a bumblebee stinged me.
It never.
Yeah.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Honest? I'm going to have to speak to Mummy. Are you okay now?
Yeah.
Good. Now, a little Compsognathus, but for short we'll call her Comp, found a duckbill egg and stole it from a nest beside the swamp. And she swam with it, and she ran with it, and murmured, clever me. And won't the baby Comps be thrilled with duckbill egg for tea?
Don't flick that in my eye.
Tea. It's a big book, this. I can't get it all in, look. She dropped the egg in terror and went running for her life from the mean Tyrannosaurus and his grim and his grisly wife. Look at him. Look. And the duckbill egg went rolling, and at last it came to rest. In all unlikely places, the Tyrannosaurus's nest. In his nest.
You can stretch it.
Now the monster tea had great...
A bit.
Oh.
Bit.
Oh.
Bit.
Oh.
Daddy, bit.
Oh.
Bit. Bit. Look, bit.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Bit.
Beard, sorry.
You've got a bit.
Yeah. Now the mother tea had great big jaws and great enormous legs, but her brain was rather little and she couldn't count her eggs. And she sang, "Hatch out, my terrors, with your scaly little tails and your spiky little toothes and your scary little nails." She sang to them. Do you think they're going to hatch?
I really need a drink again.
You're okay, you've just had one.
I'm not wrong.
You're okay. You want a bit of Daddy's water? Alright, when we say goodbye to these. Out hatched babies 1 and 2, as perfect as could be. But Mother T was horrified by baby number 3. As she grumbled, he looks weedy. And she grumbled, he looks weak. And she grumbled, what long arms, and look, his mouth is like a beak.
Kids, have you got strawberry melons and coconut?
Coconut.
Coconut melon. Have you got melons?
You
Yes
haven't.
or no?
They haven't.
They have.
Oh, you'd love them. He just needs feeding up, said Dad, and gave the babes some meat. The first 2 gulped and guzzled, but the third one refused to eat. And he said, I'm really sorry. And he said, I simply can't. And he said, that meat looks horrible. I'd rather eat a plant. I said after the story. A plant, yelled Mum in horror, and Dad said, get a grip. His sisters found a name for him, Tyrannosaurus Drip. And they shouted up with hunting, and they shouted up with war, and they shouted up with bellyfuls of duck-billed dinosaur. Poor Tyrannosaurus Drip tried hard to sing along, but the others yelled, you silly Drip, you've got the words all wrong. For he hooted down with hunting, and he hooted down with war, and he hooted down with bellyfuls of the duck-billed dinosaur.
Also, that looks like my roots.
Yes, it
It's
does,
got lots
doesn't
of
it?
trees.
It does. Drip's sisters soon grew big enough to hunt with Dad and Mum,
Oh, look
But
at
they-
that funny face again.
but they turned on Drip and told him, you're not fierce enough to come. And he
Daddy.
cried, they've gone without me. And he cried, alack-a-day. And he cried, this doesn't feel like home. I think I'm going to run away. Yes, darling.
He's doing that eye.
He's doing those eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do it.
No.
So he ran off to the river, when he saw a lovely sight. A herd of duck-billed dinosaurs all hooting with delight. And they hooted up with rivers, and they hooted up with reeds,
Daddy,
and they hooted up with bellyfuls of juicy water weeds. Yeah.
I got nails.
You've got nails?
You look there.
Oh, you've got dirt in your nails. Oh, you've only got a little bit. Yeah, you're all right. As he stood there on the bank, a sudden urge took hold of him. and he jumped into the water and discovered that he could swim. And the duckbills came to greet him by the rushy river edge, and they hooted, "Nice to see you!" And they hooted, "Have some veg. Will you stop tickling my feet?" Look at them swimming.
No. They can't. Oh, a baby one's swimming.
And Drip, who was delighted that they hadn't run away, ate bellyfuls of water wheat. No, Amber! And played with them all day. Amber, stop, please. Then he gazed into the river, and he asked them, "Woo-oo-hoo. Is that creature in the water?" And they laughed and said, "It's you." Stop.
Ow!
Right. Stop. Look at them there. We're nearly done. That night the lightning crackled and a storm blew down a tree, and it fell across the river, and the teas cried out, "Yippee!" And they shouted, "Up with hunting," and they shouted, "Up with war," and they shouted, "Up with bellyfuls of duckbill
Dinosaur.
Yes. Oh God, this story's going on forever. Drip's sisters stepped out
Daddy.
onto the bridge, but
Daddy.
then began to frown.
Daddy.
For there in front of them stood Drip, who yelled, "Look out, look down."
Who says poo? Who says poo?
And they looked into the water, and they each let out a
Daddy.
yelp.
Daddy.
And one cried, "Water monsters," and the other one cried, "Help!" Benny, stop. Stop, please. I'm going to run out of time at this rate. Please, stop. Amber. Their mother scolded nonsense, and she joined them on the tree. Then she looked into the water and exclaimed, "Good gracious me!" The three of them stood trembling, and Dad said, "Get a grip. You're all of us, you're as drippy as Tyrannosaurus Drip." He strode onto the bridge and scoffed, "I bet there's nothing there." Then he looked into the water and he jumped into the air.
Can I see?
See his face. And how the duckbills hooted when he landed with a crash, and the tree bridge broke, crash, and for the dinosaur went splash. And spluttering and clinging to the branches of the tree, they went whooshing down a waterfall, and they all went to sea. Oh God! And the duckbills hooted happily. They hooted, "Hip, hip, hip! Hooray for the heroic one and only Duckbill Drip!" Dun, dun, dun! We made it.
Water.
Water. Be very careful, please. Just have a little sip. Good girl. Come back. Right. See you later. We're done. Bedtime. Thanks for that. Getting your hair in my face. Thank you very much.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la.
Glory, glory,
Golly, golly,
glory.
goo.